My initial reaction to the decision, it's a huge victory for Manchester City. They will feel completely vindicated of the charges that have been made at them. In respect of UEFA, they will be feeling fairly sore. They were very confident that the case that they had, and for people that aren't familiar, the accusations made by UEFA was that Manchester City signed sponsorship deals with parties connected to the club's owner back in Abu Dhabi, and those were at inflated prices. They weren't on true commercial prices, and this in turn effectively allowed Manchester City to overstate its income and therefore fall within the limits of the financial fair play guidance, which limits losses to 30 million euros over a 3-year period. Well, from Manchester City's point of view, the first thing is that they are now in a position to compete in the Champions League for the next 2 seasons. They'd already qualified for the Champions League by virtue of they will finish second in the Premier League this season. They've already accumulated enough points to guarantee that. And therefore, from a financial perspective, participation in the Champions League is worth a minimum of 100 million euros a year, potentially up to 150 million euros. And that has a significant contribution to both top line and bottom line for any business. There have been accusations that a group of clubs from the Premier League had written to UEFA to support the decision that was initially made in giving Manchester City a 2-year ban. So clearly there's no love lost at the top tier of football, and some of the comments which have come from other clubs in Europe in respect of the Manchester City's ban appeared to be that they were also in favour of the initial decision which has been made by UEFA itself. Going forwards, clearly bridges will have to be built on a club-by-club level in respect of Manchester City and some of the accusers of the club. Remember, CAS is an independent arbitration panel. It is effectively the highest sporting ruling body in a global basis, and it had 3 independent expert judges in the form of people with a significant legal backgrounds who made that decision. I think there's no issues in respect of CAS. I think the frustration will be with either the quality or the quantity of evidence that was put forward by UEFA, and also potentially its sources. UEFA apparently generated some of its evidence from the Football League's website, and Manchester City have claimed that some of the accusations made by UEFA are on the basis of emails and other information which had been hacked from the club, and therefore it shouldn't have been admitted in the first place. Going forwards, I think it's going to be a real challenge for UEFA in terms of enforcing FFP in its present guise, because Paris Saint-Germain, they were relieved of a charge a couple of years ago, and that was on a technical point. We now have Manchester City successfully defending the accusations made at them, and clearly PSG and Manchester City, they both have sovereign wealth funds behind them in the form of their ownership models, and both PSG and Manchester City have felt to a certain extent that the system is geared to prevent a newcomer or a relative newcomer challenging the existing elite in Europe, and therefore they'll feel completely vindicated. There will be some sore heads. I think actually it'll probably be less of the clubs that don't normally compete in Europe, but more amongst the established European teams. That some of the comments that came out initially when Manchester City were given the 2-year ban did seem somewhat gleeful at the time, partly due to the fact that as far as they were concerned, Manchester City are seen as a threat because they are clearly on the pitch a very successful club, that the number of trophies they've won domestically has been very impressive over recent years, and therefore they were seen as a potential threat to taking the Champions League trophy away from clubs who feel that perhaps it should be theirs by right. Yes, I mean, City are they won the first leg of their present round of matches against Real Madrid in Madrid, so therefore they've got a very good chance of proceeding to the quarterfinals, and potentially they could win the Champions League this season, and I think that would make things doubly good for them. They will feel completely vindicated, and it will give them an opportunity to defend the trophy as champions next season as well.